It's time to get inside the Giants Huddle.
Huddle up, huddle up, huddle up.
On Giants.com.
Here we go, here we go.
And the Giants mobile
Get
app.
them in there, let's go.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Welcome to another edition of the Giants Huddle Podcast, brought to you by PSEG. Energy efficiency for game time and anytime. Visit PSEG.com/Giants for discounts, rebates, and home energy assessments. John Schmeelk with you. The league year has officially begun, and some of these reported signings and trades by the Giants have become official. Make sure you go back to the prior episode and listen to my one-on-one interview with tight end Darren Waller, who the Giants acquired in a trade from the Raiders. The other big free agency acquisition for the Giants in this cycle, at least so far, is Bobby Okereke, a linebacker coming over from the Indianapolis Colts. Here's my chat with him. And now we're joined by one of the newest members of the New York Football Giants, linebacker Bobby Okereke. Bobby, welcome to New York, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's start real simple. Why'd you choose the Giants?
This is a storied franchise. Excited to play with Wink. Excited to play with Coach Eggs. And those big guys up front. Had a great year last year, and excited to be a part of the great progress here.
Well, let's start with Wink then. You just mentioned him. Why was what he does in his system attractive to you?
Yeah, aggressive style offense or defense, and puts me in multiple positions. I can play the will, I can play the mic, I can cover, I can blitz. Really just that attacking style defense.
You know, Wink calls it a positionless defense. What does that mean to you, and why do you think you're a good fit for a positionless defense?
Yeah, I think it's just players play with good fundamentals. They play fast, they play physical, and it's really just a good understanding wherever you're on the field, just what your objective is. So, yeah, you're just playing fast.
Now, you mentioned it's an aggressive defense, right? And while the defense you came from, I wouldn't call it passive, it's more of a zone-based scheme, right? This is different. Was that attractive to you that you would be able to do something different in a different looking scheme?
100%. I mean, I trust my man coverage skills, and I think I'm a real good blitzer. So just exciting opportunity to, just help revitalize this defense.
Well, you already stole my next two questions. I was going to ask you about blitzing more. You haven't been asked to blitz a lot in Indianapolis. Wink loves to blitz his linebackers. Why do you think you're a good blitzer?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fast, I'm physical. I play with great intensity, so and I love to hit.
And then same deal, you played a lot of zone in Indianapolis, right? Wink's going to ask you to play man, carry those tight ends down the seam on those little skinny posts. What is it about your physical skill set and the way you play that'll lend you towards covering those quick, fast tight ends down the field?
Yeah, no, I'm very athletic. I got great length and just great football IQ and understanding. And I mean, I'm rated very high coverage, PBU, and all that. So, I got great confidence in my ability.
We see your range on tape. That's obvious, and I'll ask you about it in a second. But you mentioned your length, right? Yeah. You're 6'1", but you have 34.5-inch arms. Yeah. How does that help you with the linebacker position be a more effective player?
Yeah, no, it's a huge asset. Helps me defeat blocks, and pass coverage just helps me get in windows. It's really just a big strength of mine.
And then you mentioned your range and your speed, right? Is that what you really hang your hat on?
Yeah, I mean, being able to be like sideline to sideline, everybody wants that type of backer, and I bring that on an everyday basis.
If you could describe your game on the field in one word, what would it be?
Intense.
Can you explain why?
I just play fast. I play physical. I love to hit, and anytime you're watching the game, you're gonna see Okereke flying all over the field.
I think linebacker might be the most difficult position on the football field to play. These schemes are designed to put you guys in bad spots, right? They try to make you move your eyes, move your feet, and take advantage of it. Where do you think you've improved the most, and what have you learned in your years playing linebacker now, really heading into your prime year signing with the Giants?
Yeah, just play recognition, scheme, and really just understanding how the offense is trying to attack you. Understanding play action, understanding how they're trying to show you misdirection, either with the running back's footwork or the offensive line. It's really just a big chess game. So as much as you can, take on the cerebral part of the game, you're just going to athletically shine even more.
Obviously, it's not ideal, but how much did the loss of your partner in crime last year, Darius Shaq Leonard, kind of help you grow as a linebacker, having to take on more of that responsibility?
Yeah, him being out was a big void, and just created room for me to step up and show my leadership, show my playmaking ability. But I love Shaquille Leonard. He's set an incredible example of what a playmaking linebacker is, and I think that's what I am today.
We talked about you on the field. What are the Giants getting in a person in Bobby Okereke?
Yeah, you're getting somebody smart, intelligent, family-oriented. I'm a first-generation Nigerian American, so my parents came here from Nigeria to live the American dream, and I'm a part of that. So just very humble, very grateful, very community-oriented, and just excited to get acquainted with this community.
Any experience here in New York besides just playing here?
A little bit. I mean, I've been in New York a couple times. Both my sisters came to New York right after college. And my sister actually lives in Jersey. So this is like a nice homecoming for my family.
Oh, very good. Are you excited about playing the NFC East? It's kind of that old black and blue football.
For real. No, this is a very storied franchise. I mean, you're playing the Eagles, you're playing the Cowboys, Commanders now. So I'm just excited as hell.
You mentioned being excited about the storied history. Giants have a pretty good linebacker history now. Yeah. What do you know about that, and does that even pump up your excitement level a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, LT, all the greats who have played, I mean, it's dominance, and that's what we're striving for.
You've played at MetLife Stadium as a visitor. Yeah. Are you excited about now being the home team in that building?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the field is great. The atmosphere was insane. That was one of my favorite just pregame atmospheres of just music, fans, just the whole ambiance of it. So this place is just feeling like home.
Now, you played the Giants late in the year last year. How much did you kind of track all the progress they made in that first year under a new regime?
Yeah.
And how much did that kind of lend into your decision to make this your destination?
Big time. I mean, just like the upscale and progress. Obviously, offense playing really well, Saquon playing really well, Daniel Jones, and the defense doing good things. And just seeing where I can bring my playmaking ability and just fast and physical tenacity to this defense. I think it's only going to help us win more games.
Do you think those 17 tackles late in the year kind of helped you get here a little bit?
I think a good bit. set a good first impression.
Any connections to any of the players or coaches on the coaching staff that you knew from prior stops?
Yeah, so I played with Mark Lewinsky in Indianapolis, Marcus Johnson, Devery Hamilton. I went to Stanford with him. And then Nick Vanette, me and him are in the same agency at Rep 1. So I know a couple guys, and a lot of guys have already reached out, added me in the defensive group chat. So, it's been very welcoming.
What's been some of that communication like, and what did the guys tell you about the Giants?
Yeah, I mean, just excited to be here. I mean, we were all like hyped up when Darren Waller signed, but I mean, you just can tell like how tight-knit the group is, and everybody just wants to succeed. Anyone
in particular you're excited about playing with?
I mean, big decks up front. Leonard Williams, all those guys are dope. You got Kayvon on the outside. You got Aziz on the outside, and then Xavier in the back end. And you mean Adoree, Darnay. I mean, there's a lot of good guys on defense. So I think it's tighter and as competitive as we can make this group, the better. Final
question. I'll follow up on Dex and Leonard. Yeah. How does that help a guy like you who I'll call you a run and hit linebacker because I think you're really good at it. Having those two big guys in front of you, giving you some protection so they keep those big offensive linemen off you.
Yeah, big time. I mean, I was very fortunate in my career to play behind DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart, DeForest all-pro guy. Grover Stewart, one of the best nose tackles in the game. And it's really just a blessed situation for me to, replicate that, if not even upgrade that here. I mean, Dexter Lawrence is a hell of a player, and Leonard Williams is a stud. So I'm just excited to work with those guys, build a relationship, and, just contribute to team wins.
No stranger to big cities. New York, though, a little different than the West Coast. Are you excited to kind of dive into New York City life a little bit?
Yeah, excited. I mean, this is an amazing city, storied. I mean, this is one of the best media markets in the world. So just excited to lay some roots here, gain some experience, and really just capitalize on this amazing opportunity.
Bobby, thanks for the time. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
That's Bobby Okereke, and really just a wonderful chat with him. We talked about during the interview, a Stanford guy, really smart. You could tell he loves and cares about the game. I think he's going to be a great addition to the locker room. And really what he's going to allow this Giants defense to do compared to last year, I think is really going to surprise fans because you really couldn't trust the Giants off-ball linebackers last year to run with tight ends down the seam. They didn't necessarily have the elite range like Okereke does. So it'll allow you to blitz a little bit differently. You can work your coverages differently, knowing that inside linebacker, will be able to cover man-on-man, carry tight ends, be long enough to cover tight ends and knock the ball away from them, the range to go sideline to sideline. It really opens up another whole range of avenues and opportunities for this Giants defensive staff to be creative, which is something they were already doing in spades anyway. So really, I think he's going to be a huge addition to the Giants team. We know their run defense last year was not where they wanted it to be, and I think linebacker had a lot to do with that. So, they already brought back Jared Davis, and now they have an opportunity to add Okereke to the mix here with his, sub 4.6 40 at the combine. I mentioned his 34.5-inch arms. He's fast, he's long, he can blitz, he can cover, he can stop the run. He's a three-down player, and I think he's really going to give the Giants that inside linebacker that they lacked last year that should make them a better all-around defense and really make the middle of the field less accessible to opposing offenses, which really in the modern NFL is where modern offenses are trying to attack the middle of the field. And I think he's going to fit in well. It'll give the coaches a weapon. Again, really good athletically, smart. He talked about how, learning the linebacker position has really made him a better player in terms of play recognition. And it does take some time for linebackers to hit their peak in the National Football League. So much is thrown at them early. They have to deal with so much of the line of scrimmage, run, stopping, coverage. You got to be play action, tight ends, running backs, you name it. It's really the most difficult position on defense to play from a mental perspective. Maybe the physical challenge of one-on-one cornerback play is a little bit tougher. But really, so many of these designs, whether they're RPOs or read options or play action, it's designed to take advantage of linebackers. And having a guy in there you can trust, that's always on the field, is fast and long and checks all the boxes, I think can really help improve this Giants defense by leaps and bounds in 2023. I'm John Schmeelk. That's this edition of the Giants Huddle Podcast, brought to you by PSEG, energy efficiency for game time and anytime. Visit PSEG.com/Giants for discounts, rebates, and home energy assessments. We'll see you next time.